Monday Blitz. We do hope your weekend has been amazing. Wengine mko holiday kama Arsenal, wengine mnashinda na offside kama Manchester United, wengine kama Liverpool. You get to realize actually this treble is not for everyone because mnaanza kutolewa kwa vikombe. Wengine mko na resurrection just like Rashford with Aston Villa. Wengine mkama Man City mna struggle na team ndogo ndogo, but either way umejipata hapa kwenye Monday Blitz. Welcome aboard. Haujalala, ulikuwa unangojea watch Super Bowl, Chiefs wakiishinda mara ya 3 wakakudisappoint, Eagles wakawapiga ile kitu. Don't worry yourself. We are here to discuss everything. Alafu wale wa Madara United kama mimi tunasikia vibaya Gor Mahia walitushinda. No problem. We are here for you. Na leo tunataka kudiscuss vitu amazing sana around the sports, and we want you to be interactive with us. Before I introduce my panel today, let's do this. Kwenye ball ya Kenya, the last 1 week there's been a video that has been trending. I believe it was in the Migori youth game where kuna fana lingia wa kiwanja, yani bila kuogopa or anything, bila kuficha, was just outright violent, and the video got a lot of people talking, and we said, you know what, we need to discuss this. It's too much. We've been saying it now and then. Oh, there's hooliganism in the game, something needs to be done, but nothing has been done so far. You still see it happening. The other day it was FC Leopards fans fighting with police at Dandora. We saw what was happening at Kinoru. Sasa hii imefika hii Migori youth, now it was just crazy. People flying kicks on referees and police officers. For how long are we letting this happen? So we want you to get interactive with us. Remember, SMS number is 22047. Hashtag unaweza andika Monday Blitz, Morning Cafe pale kwenye X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Get interactive. We are asking you, what do you think should be done to curb hooliganism in the Kenyan game? What do you think should be done to stop hooliganism in the Kenyan game? Let me introduce my panel. Start from my left, former Kenya Under-20 international, Fred Arocho. In case you didn't know, now you know. And if you don't know, you go watch the story on YouTube ya Shatabwa. We got an opportunity to sit down with Arocho akatufafanulia hayo maneno. Mzee,
yes,
welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
Uko sawa?
Lovely weekend. And I believe that more is coming this week.
True. You know Arsenal is on holidays.
Good. Well, I hope that holiday will help them. Last season it helped them.
Yes.
I believe that it will help Arsenal. I hope that isiwe tu ni safari ya bure.
Levels, my friend. While you are struggling with the FA and Leicester, we are on holiday.
Well, let's see.
All right. Gentrix Mercy. Karibu sana, bro.
Asante.
Yes, this was my classmate tukisoma coaching. Only that mimi nilikuja kupiga kelele and yeye akachukua team. Team inaendeleaje by the way?
Team tunaendelea poa.
Bado
tumetoka pale relegation.
Yes.
So tunangangana.
Mnangangana kupanda bado.
Tunangangana, yeah.
How is the struggle ya kupigania? Unajua sisi tunataka relegation ya ligi pekee, hatujaangalia hizi zingine. How is it?
Zingine kama
sasa kama yeye, unajua sisi tunaangalia relegation, sisi tunaangalia gasa maybe tuseme ni league sasa, like the Premier League sasa. Una get?
Yeah.
So tujuaje huko kwingine pia para na vita zingine?
Iko tough, competition iko more. Yeah, and then pia challenges too za team za community. Elewa.
Yes.
So mindset ya wachezaji kidogo. Na watu wa timing, alafu pia vile umesema hiyo kitu ya hooliganism pia ina affect. Yeah. Mashabiki wanafanya kitu without knowing that mwisho wa siku ni timu itakuwa punished. Yeah.
Nice. We'll get to discuss that. Na pia tutakuwa na former referee hapa Ndinya akuja tupatie a referee's perspective to this, because when this hooliganism starts, it starts with them. Like yeye ndo anakuaga first casualty. People tend to go to the referee kwa boli ya Kenya. Unlike huko kwingine na kwa mtandao tunapashana, si ndio? But allow me to start with Liverpool, Arocho. We all thought they would be going for the treble, but their game yesterday against Plymouth was just a disaster, you know? And this also brings us back to the last game they played in the Champions League, where they had already qualified, so they fielded their Team B. Does it mean now Liverpool does not have a Team B, where maybe when called upon cannot deliver, because now this is the second game that they are letting the coach down?
Well, I think it's a challenge to the players. When you're given an opportunity to play, you note that I think it was only 3 senior players who played in that match. There were only 2 in the bench. One came in, that is Nunes, and they couldn't really tick. It's a challenge to the young players. For me, I don't think the coach has lost. I think the players who are given them the opportunity to showcase their talent are the ones who lost, because when you're given that opportunity, you need to look at it positively. But it might also be a blessing in disguise for Liverpool. They're currently challenging the Champions League. It's tough. They're also challenging the league. And if you don't have a big squad, then you'd rather let go the minor tournaments, if you ask me. And Liverpool doesn't have a big squad. So I would like to say that it was a blessing in disguise, because they need to concentrate in the league. Look at the other contender in the league, that is Arsenal. They went to Asia to try and have some sort of a retreat. And that last season propelled them, and they played quite well when they came from their retreat in Asia. So I believe that Liverpool as fans should not complain. That is a blessing in disguise, so that the upcoming matches wanaenda concentrate fully. And for the coach, it's a lot of pressure. Each and every match that you play. And that's why you see club coaches are paid more than national team coaches. Because in the national team, you might have pressure, yes, for the entire country, but it's perhaps once in 3 or so months. But when you're a national team, a club coach, it is pressure week in, week out. So it's a blessing in disguise. And I mean, ningependa tu Liverpool fans should take it positive.
Yeah. Coach Ari, let me ask you as a coach, what is the importance of a bench? Because we have seen the Liverpool bench letting down Onslaught. Now, we are seeing the captain is out of contract in summer. Mo Salah is out of contract. Trent Alexander is out of contract. What is the importance of a bench when you're in a title charge?
Bench inakuwa ya muhimu sana. Manake for the first 11 team, wana need kupata pressure. Yes. Na hiyo pressure inatoka kwa the bench. Yes. So unapata, that's why season kama 2 hivi 3 Arsenal wamekuwa kidogo hawajakuwa na ile consistency. But now unawezaona kama Ben White hayuko, kuna Kariafori. So unaona ule mtu mwenye anakuja bado ni msee ako mature enough na ako strong. Yes. And that's why Villarocha amesema ukiangalia Liverpool, ndio maana kuna tofauti ya Liverpool na Arsenal. So right now Liverpool kitu yenye inafanya ikuwe best ni experience. Lakini hawana ile bench kama Arsenal. So unapata jana kidogo watu wanashtuka, lakini kiukweli bench yao iko chini. Na wale bench ni young players. So for now I think kitu yenye inafanya Liverpool wanakuwa strong niyo, mimi naweza feel motivation kwa league. But also wako finali Carabao. Yes. And then also Champions League wanafanya poa. I think au kutoka FA wanapumua. Manake mtaka yote uko saa yote. So I think wako poa. Alright. Endapo wanaweza beba FA na ligi pia wako poa, wakibeba itakuwa wako perfect.
Well, let us talk about Chelsea. Sikuwataja kwenye introduction yangu. I did not mention Chelsea. Nikitoka hapa na wewe watanipatia maneno. Ulitaja matimu kwa introduction. Okay. Chelsea at some point were number 2 wakisukuma Liverpool, and we thought probably they would win something, these domestic trophies. As a new coach, even if you don't win the league, at least the domestic cups are things you go for. Like Ten Hag gave him life when he came to Manchester, at least winning the FA Cup, winning the Carabao. Arteta, when he came to Arsenal, won the FA Cup as well. Gives you some lifeline with the fans. But now with Chelsea, that is it. Carabao wako, FA wameondokea. Now wanategemea, because they are not also in the title contention, wanategemea ile conference. Is that the best way to go for Maresca?
Well, I think Chelsea,
with the squad he has, ana shida ya sub, ana shida ya bench. Akona vijana 100 to choose from.
Well, personally, I think that Chelsea were just unfortunate. The fixture was too big. This fixture came a big fixture came too early for them. It's a team that is building, they're building their blocks.
Yes.
You remember season ikianza, Chelsea were one of the teams that were not really regarded to be title contenders.
Yes.
But slowly they've been coming in, and expecting too much from Chelsea is being unfair to them. Mimi, I think performance yao in the league so far is excellent. Yes, they dropped out, but once again, the opposition was too big. A team like...
would you say Brighton is too big for Chelsea?
Yes, Brighton is currently...
This Brighton conceded 7 goals against Nottingham Forest.
Well, the other day. I think that Nottingham Forest match was a one-off thing, was an isolated case, if you ask me.
For Brighton?
But look at the way Brighton has performed this season. Brighton is one of the teams that has been bringing down the big guns.
Yes.
When they play big matches, they perform. Yes. And for Brighton against Chelsea, I think this was also a big match. So they're big performers. They perform in big matches. And once again, I'm going back to Chelsea. You see even the goal that Chelsea scored. Kwa blanda kubwa sana ya keeper.
Yes, it was actually an own goal.
Yes, it was actually a school games blunder for me. Chelsea should be given more time. If Chelsea can be given time the way Arsenal has been given time, 3 or 4 seasons, then you'll see a very good Chelsea. And I'm sure that the coach is even proud of themselves. Another team that that pressure imetolewa kwa shoulder yao ni Chelsea. Losing this FA Cup for me is a blessing. They need to concentrate much onto the league and make sure that they have a decent performance. Decent number, 1, 2, 3, 4 for me will be a decent number. So kulia for watu wa Chelsea at this juncture is just expecting too much, trying to get water out of stone. Yes. Itakuwa vigumu. Let them be contented. Wangoje the next league match, concentrate on the league, get a decent number, and start preparing for the upcoming season.
Kochare, you have the most expensive squad in the league. Yeah. You know, 1.3 billion. Yeah, squad, si ndio?
Yeah.
Unacheza games ndio. Ulishaondokea Carabao uko Champions League, meaning uko kwenye conference umekuwa tu ukisail through because you're meeting teams that are not professional, fully professional. Semi-professional teams where players midweek ni wakulima, ni watu wa mjengo, nini, weekend wanacheza game. Sidio, so hakuna pressure. You've been benching your first team. And now you're here, you're dropping out of the domestic cups. Isn't that something to worry, Maresca?
Yeah, on my side na feel Maresca Villarocha amesema, I think mafans wana expect kitu yenye ipo kwa Chelsea. So first na feel Chelsea wakiingia kwa hii season, dream yao ilikuwa ya jamaa rudi kwa UEFA. So plan zao hazikuwa kuwin league. So but mzuri tu akajipata hapo top 3. But now na feel Maresca ana lack gola. Na ukiangalia Pochettino kitu yenye alifanya second leg, alibench Sanchez. Akeka Petrovic. And that's why he finished top 6
on a high. Yes.
But now Maresca alishindwa kumuelewa, manake alisema the guy Sanchez, ako fit. Na ndio amekuwa ki-let town. But now toa Palma Chelsea, na utaona Chelsea
kweli.
Toa Mo Salah Liverpool, utaona bao. Toa Saka Arsenal watawin. Hiyo ndio tofauti. So na feel dream yao hii season wakiwin Carabao, na najua watawin, itakuwa poa. Wakibaki wakiwapo top 4, dream yao ni hiyo, lakini itakuwa challenging kidogo.
I'd like to differ na coach, if I may. Look at what has happened to Arsenal when Saka went out. Arsenal just flopped, if you ask me. Yes,
what do you mean flopped?
Yes.
I don't know what you mean. What is flopping? We are number 2.
The first 2 matches after Saka went down, Arsenal did not perform. They've picked after the 3rd, 4th. Guys, 22 let's just be honest to each other. If Saka was currently at Arsenal, Arsenal could have been far much better as far as points is concerned. Labda kuwa number 1 ningekuwa ngumu, but their points could have been far much better. Look at the number of goals that Saka has scored in the season. Look at the number of assists that is given. So I differ with coach. Yes, you might remove Mohamed Salah from Liverpool team itadai. But when you remove Saka, definitely that will also happen at Arsenal. Arsenal is just having some good resilience in the team. Young, wachezaji bado, they're so hungry to have some success. But Saka is a big blow.
It's not just Saka. Arsenal has had big blows this season. We lost Ben White. We lost captain, fantastic Martin Odegaard. We've lost Bukayo Saka. We keep losing players, but we still answer the questions that we get. What will you do without Saka? We get a solution. What will you do without Odegaard? We get a solution. And I think that is the mark of a team that wants to chase, to go for the trophy, you know. Well, we are not yet there. We've been complaining that in this January they should have brought us a striker, because also relying so much on Kai Havertz hasn't been the solution for us. But it is what it is. We work with what we have. I'll see you.
Yeah.
Okay. Former referee Alfred Dinya is here with us. Karibu sana. Uko salama?
Kabisa.
Weekend imekuwa mzuri?
Kabisa.
How does it feel now that umezoea every weekend lazima maybe uko game, but now after umetulia sasa weekend inafika, don't you ujipataki umeamka umeanza kupanga red card, yellow card?
Now we follow matches all over the weekend.
Okay.
So we're still there, but not actively running on the field.
Yes.
But we follow on a daily basis on the performance of the referees, on the pitches.
All right.
So we're still active, but in a different
in a different set.
Yes.
All right. We shall be engaging you later on. We had mentioned here about hooliganism in the Kenyan game.
Yes.
And we said the first casualties mostly is the referees, because it starts with the calls you make. You know? So before we get to that, Arocho, nilikuwa nataka kuuliza kuhusu finali ya Carabao now. Like when Ancelotti took over Liverpool and they were looking perfect, there's only two teams that appeared to disturb Liverpool. That was Nottingham Forest when they beat them 1-0, and after that they went on a winning streak until they met Newcastle, who looked to shake them, you know. And now they meet in the Carabao final. Liverpool, Newcastle. What do you see?
Well, big stage. Big moment
at Wembley.
Big players.
Yes.
And that's why I prefer Cristiano Ronaldo to Lionel Messi. Cristiano Ronaldo is a big player.
Yes.
Big matches, big performance. And I'm looking at a Liverpool side that is going to win, not necessarily because they're good, but they have big players who perform in big moments. That is Salah, that is Van Dijk, and the rest. So I'm looking at a Newcastle that is, yes, going to challenge Liverpool. But the fact that Liverpool, the players I've mentioned,
yes,
have survived big moments, yes, and survived them successfully. That's my reason why I feel Liverpool is going to clinch. Newcastle is another team that is so inconsistent, if you ask me. I'll bring in Newcastle, I'll bring in Tottenham, as teams that, yes, have the money, that the financial power, but conversion on the pitch has been a problem. Look at what Tottenham what has happened to Tottenham in the last 3 seasons. Changing coaches left, right, and center. Bringing in new players left, right, and center, yet there's no consistency. So consistency is key. And that's probably the main reason why I feel that Liverpool is going to clinch the Carabao Cup. Newcastle, yes, good resistance, but hawatafikia Liverpool.
Gentrix, Newcastle, as Arocho is saying, Liverpool has big players that show up in big games. But in the recent past, we've seen big players also for Newcastle showing up, like Joel Linton has been showing up, Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak, made Arsenal defenders who we've been saying are the best defenders. The defending duo in Europe look clueless in Saliba and Magalhaes. You know, so they have people like... in short, Newcastle has players that show up.
Yeah.
Sindio, right now, it has not been like that, but this season wanna show up for games, kama the Arsenal game. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
So do you feel when we go to Wembley, it's going to be a walkover for Liverpool, ama do they expect to be challenged?
Villarocha amesema, I think na agree naye kwa hii. Newcastle ndio wawinio game, wana need kuwa kama team. But now, kama team ikikataa itakuwaje? That's why now individual players ina come in. So ukiangalia Liverpool, ukiwa na Salah, uko na kama mtu 12. Anaweza fanya mambo yake, bao. Wakipata kona pia VJ ako poa. But now Liverpool wako na watu kama 3-4 wenye wanaweza rely on na win game.
All right.
Now on Newcastle side na feel ukishika Isaac na unyime Gordon space itakuwa ni tough for them.
Bruno Guimaraes will do something. Guimaraes is a captain. I want to bring in the referee.
Kwa noma.
Now, on a referee's perspective, we've seen such games where referees tend to make the game about themselves. You know, you get into the game, you want to enjoy the final. Mo Salah anapigwa red card. In the beginning of the game. So we don't talk about the game, we don't talk about the trophy, we are out here complaining, we are ref anaharibu game. So how do you hold yourself not to make the game about you? How do you prepare for it?
It's normally said a good referee is a referee who is never seen. He's never seen in the 90 minutes.
Yes.
That means the calls that he makes, the decisions that he comes up with are correct decisions, not questionable. So a good referee is a referee who is never seen, whether small match or big match, Liverpool, and even local league.
Yes.
It's that person that makes, as Aracho says, the consistency should be there in terms of good calls and making the game flow.
Yeah. What if you are faced by a scenario where a big player has tackled someone and his gun starts up, and you know this is a red card,
unfortunately,
but you also if I red card this player, he game imeharibika.
And unfortunately, for the refereeing side, unfortunately, the law does not know about big players. It is the law. It's a red card for Salah.
Yes.
It's a red card for Ronaldo. It's a red card for a non-player. So the law is the law. It doesn't bend.
Yes.
So it might affect the game, but at the end of the day, it will still stand as the law. If it's an offside, it's an offside. Yeah, so that's how it works.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, talking about referees, there's a place where we've seen the referees being seen, and they claim to be having the best league in the world, and that is the Premier League. As we took a break from the Premier League this weekend, as teams resume, look at a team like Man City has to play midweek against Real Madrid for the Champions League playoffs. They have big games over the weekend. Liverpool has to play their game in hand against Everton, which is a derby. I think Liverpool is playing 5 games the next 14 days. Arsenal is in Dubai on recess and trying to reset. Do you in the next 2 weeks, do we expect to see a shift in the top 4 in the Premier League?
Well, it might happen to teams that don't have that character. This is when your character will be described. Yes. When you're playing big matches. I think Liverpool played a very big match that was quite contentious. They played against which team? The last match that they played in the league. Everybody thought
it was against Bournemouth.
Everybody thought that Liverpool is going to crumple. And that's how a champion is being described. A champion might not play well. Very clumsy, very lazy, but ultimately they get the
results, yes.
For me, I think that this will be positive for Liverpool. The fact that Arsenal is not going to play big matches in the next 10 or so days, for me, is a negative.
Yes. Arsenal?
Yes, you might look at it as rest, but I'm looking at that much fitness. I'm looking at that roll. The moment that a team starts rolling in when they bring in the 3 points, it normally takes some time before you start seeing some disappointments. So for Liverpool, I'm looking at them planning well, because most of these teams plan. They don't just go into games. They will plan the way they're going to play against Bournemouth, the way they're going to push against Arsenal, the way they're going to struggle against Ipswich. It's totally different. So I'm looking at a coach that has his game plan in the next 14 or so days. And this is why I feel that Liverpool is still going to win this league. Because look at the way Liverpool plays when they're playing big matches. They might not play well. They might not attack well, but ultimately they get the 3 points.
Let's see if they don't drop points in the derby. if they go to Merseyside,
But Everton is
if
a
they
dead-
go to Goodison Park,
Everton is dead at the
no,
moment.
no, it's not. There's a resurgence with Everton.
No.
With the
What
reintroduction. There's a resurgence after the new coach is here. Moyes is back, and Moyes
has been struggling for the next 3 years.
That's true.
Yes.
But the new coach bounce and under Moyes is
I
happening.
promise you, Shatterboy will be here.
Yes.
The good thing is that this set is always there every Monday.
Yes.
We'll be here when Liverpool will have beaten Everton. They are going to beat Everton squarely
Yes.
to send the shockwaves
Yes.
among. You know, the likes of Liverpool at the moment, kwa lugha ya Kiswahili tunasema, wanachapa wakubwa to send messages to wadogo. The likes of Everton cannot be a problem. to Liverpool.
Wanachapa wakubwa to send a message kwa wadogo, lakini walipigwa na Plymouth. Plymouth iko number last, yani iko number last kwa championship, sawa, na ilitishia Liverpool. What message does it send now to a team like Everton, where you see Liverpool losing to a team in number last in the championship? What does it give Everton the confidence when they meet Liverpool, knowing this is the last game that is going to be played at Goodison Park? This is the last derby itachezwa Goodison Park before they move to their new stadium. Doesn't it give them more encouragement to win the game?
Inawapea, lakini pia nao wanaangalia ni Liverpool gani hiyo imecheza against hiyo team.
Thank you, coach.
What waliva jezi za Liverpool?
Thank you, coach. Thank you, coach.
Look, what happens? What wakigonjeka kesho?
The last like 10 fixtures.
Yes.
Liverpool against Everton. Think imekuwa ukova.
Last season it was different. Last season actually ni Everton ilitoa Liverpool kwa title contention.
But Liverpool is collapse.
I like the way coach anaileta.
Yes.
You know, okay, I normally don't like looking at a game evil. At all, it was a weaker Liverpool. But let's look at facts.
Yes.
The match that was played yesterday, there were only 2 players that play in the first team.
You are only as good as your last game. That the message that you've sent to the opposition is that you are beatable. You know, you are trying to create a fortress here, an invincible team, but you've gone to Plymouth na mmeadhibiwa. Si ndio? Ref, do you see Liverpool dropping points at some point?
I think Liverpool also had a lot of confidence. That's why they thought they would do without other people. And therefore, what happened to them was unfortunate. Although they have a very good record now,
yes,
the consistency is there.
Yes.
So it was unfortunate what happened, but I think Liverpool is on top.
All right.
So on top of things.
Perfect. Let's switch gears now. The discussion of the day. Hooliganism in the Kenyan game is not new to any of us.
Yes.
We've seen this year in, year out, year in, year out. People come up with suggestions. We sit down, we say, let's do this, let's do that. You know? Having been at the center of it all, because you said it is the decisions that you make as referees probably where I feel I have not been, justice has not been done to me or to my team. Or probably my team didn't show up and I just need to vent and I just need to misbehave. That is the word, you know? And it starts with you as a referee. Can you give us your experience with hooliganism in the Kenyan game?
The center of all that, the center of hooliganism starts with the referee.
Yes.
That's where the key man is the referee.
Yes.
So the performance of the referee of the day actually opens up the day, how the match will go for the 90 minutes. So that's why I think also the federation is really working hard. Now that Hussein has come in, I've seen so many changes coming up, which is very good and positive for the game. When we have a fit, well-prepared referee for a match, hooliganism does not even start and end with a good referee. We also need to help the fans understand the laws of the game. We need to help journalists, sports journalists, everybody, all the stakeholders involved, so that when an offside happens, an offside, a clip will be shown for an offside, and you'll hear somebody who is not even knowledgeable say that's an offside. But some of people who are trained, who have gone through the laws, who have at least known what Law 11 talks about, are able to know that that is an offside. So I think it's upon all the stakeholders to come up And people need to know the amendments of the law, because amendments are done every now and then of the laws of the game. Because, for example, a small thing will happen during an offside.
Yes.
A player is in an offside position when he is nearer the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second last defender. It's just a fact that is there. So unless you know that kind of interpretation, you will not be able to know. For example, broadcasters, people who film the matches, they should be able to have cameras 20 meters, 30 meters from the goal line, because of those incidents that happen in the goal area, to help in decision making. It's good now we have VAR, although I don't know, maybe the federation and the people need to come up with
the technology
to help assist. But the most important thing is everybody needs to be knowledgeable to help in the game. Yes.
You mentioned something. You said it requires good preparation.
Yes, good
for a referee.
Yes.
What does the preparation look like?
Preparation is three things. It's narrowed to three things. Number one, mental preparation. Because if a match is going to be done on a Saturday, today is a Monday, and the match is going to come on a Saturday at Nyayo or Kasarani, this guy needs to be prepared. I know I'm going to meet AFC Leopards, I'm going to meet Gor Mahia. So this guy is mentally prepared, number one. This guy needs to be physically fit, because as we say in refereeing, the referee has to be 10 times more fitter than a striker. Because, he covers the whole field. So he must be 10 times more fitter than a striker. So if the training is there, the mental preparation is there, and then now the ability to implement, then the referee will be on top of the game. The matches become so easy when you are prepared mentally, you are prepared physically, and you can be able to implement it on the field. So it becomes very easy to do it.
True.
Yes.
Okay, Mercy, from experience, last time we spoke about hooliganism in the game, you told me that the last time we had spoken, you told me the previous weekend, your game descended into chaos. How is your experience with hooliganism in the game, and how has it affected your team?
Actually, mi naweza sema kwanza inaanza na ile referee amesema, pia macoach na teams zinachangia. And that's why mi na like sana Madhari. Na watu wengi hawajui pia kuwa close na community. Nafanya hiyo relationship ya player team na shabiki. Whereby through that unaweza patia mashabiki knowledge. Also pia amesema kuhusu loss of the game. Macoach tunafunzwa class. But now tukishafika kwa team, tunafocus sana na ball. Hatupati wachezaji. So lazima pia coach uinform wachezaji, referee decision ni final. Pia wachezaji wanachangia. Juu ref akisha make decision, unaanza kuleta issue pale. Through that shabiki tulikuwa na game pale na Bumbani. You know that ilibidi mashabiki wa home team na wakwe mashabiki wetu kule Mombasa juu ya decision ya referee. Na referee wanachangia pia, especially zile games zenye haziko live. So unapata timu ya home imelemewa kidogo, referee anapokea tu pale jamaa. Na ni kitu ambayo kidogo juu preparation. Shata kocha ako na almost 4 days kuprepare team. Referee ako na 90 minutes kuharibu hiyo job na kuharibia coach kazi. Na siku hizi hapo mtaani watu wanasema tafuta tu za referee. Usitrain team. Tafuta za referee and then kila kitu itakuwa poa. But referee wanafaa kujua au wana play part kubwa sana market league yetu na kusaidia wachezaji. Also fans wanafaa wajue kwamba wanachangia kufanya boli yetu iinuke.
Arocho, very valid points being brought here from the referee and the coach. Ref amesema you need preparedness. The coach is saying palimefika Kenya, watu wanasema ni aje, wewe tafuta za ref. Usiharibu time hapo. Kuna vitu kwa nafundisha kwa mesocycles, mesocycle, sijui ya myocycle. Wewe usijisumbue na hizo vitu. Wewe tafuta tu za ref. And we've seen controversial decisions being made. but we've also seen technical benches that have erupted, and by so erupting, the fans have erupted as well. You know? And we've had this conversation time and again. Nothing changes. Your take on this?
I'll look at hooliganism in Kenya from two fronts. One, these referees must be paid. I really feel for Ndinya being a professional.
Yes.
He might not want to expose his bosses or his colleagues.
Yes.
But the problem in this country, one, is the referees are not being paid. Remuneration of referees is so poor. So when I go to a stadium, I've not eaten, and when he's talking about preparation,
Yes.
how do I prepare mentally and I've not eaten?
Yeah.
How do I prepare physically and there's no food in my house?
Yes.
So basically, he's trying to be as diplomatic as possible, but me, I'll be as crude as possible.
Yes.
We have to pay these referees. If you don't pay me and somebody else comes and wants to give me money, believe you me, I'll be compromised. So I'm not trying to justify
Yes.
the mistakes that referees do in the pitch. I'm not trying to justify the chaos that referees go through. Now, for example, this match, now this is the second part of my answer.
Yes.
This match, Nairobi United versus Migori Youth. Now, look at this guy who kicked the officer. Why was this guy not arrested? You know, me, I wonder. And I think we need to even to bring the police,
Yes.
their spokesperson or even their bosses here.
Yes.
Why are people not being arrested in our stadiums? People create chaos. Look at what happened in Dandora.
Yes.
Somebody is challenging an officer who has a gun. Somebody is hitting a referee. An officer. Why are these people not being arrested? They are caught on camera, but they have never been arrested. So the moment we arrest, prosecute,
Charge.
you know, we do all that is when that's what will deter other people from messing up with police officers. Now, coming back to hooliganism, I think something needs to be done. The previous federation tried, but they could not handle it because it reached a point where they could not really bite their own fingers. Look at what Adagala does in Moroni. Adagala in Moroni, it's just another government.
He's a king of himself.
He's a king of himself. He does what he wants to do. The federation will just do a small PR exercise. Or we're going to suspend that stadium for 2 matches, then the matches are back there. What needs to be done? One, police officers, I think you need to arrest people in stadiums so that we see what happens to people who challenge police officers in the line of duty. Two, sanctioning from the federation should be very severe. It should be severe that we can even say that the rest of the season, there are no home matches for these teams that bring this chaos. This is how we are going to send messages to the fans. But the moment we just do things the same way and expect different results, then we are mad people. Hooliganism in Kenya is being promoted because of 2 people. 1, the federation, and 2, the police officers. Arrest. Why are they arresting?
Now that Arocha has touched that,
Yes.
it reminds me of something. When Kenya Premier League, KPL then,
Yes.
was in charge of running the Premier League in this country,
Yes.
they set a standard that no single match will be played without a minimum of 5 police officers. It was basic, so that when a match, before it kicks off, the match commissar confirms that we have a minimum of 5. But that also depends on the level of the match, because a Gor Mahia and AFC match is totally different with Gor Mahia and maybe not a small team,
Yes.
but a team with less crowds.
Yes.
So, and then we set standards, and then we said any single harassment to the match officials during a match, the sanction needs to come out within 24 hours. It was being written, and the CEO of KPL would write that, and the teams points will be docked from them. They'll remove points.
Yes.
Empty stadium if possible,
Yes.
and to play away from their home team. So these are things that the federation, now that we have a new regime, they need to pick it up from there and go to the different level.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a big point that you've not touched on, which is the remuneration
Yes,
of the referees.
now,
Who pays the referees?
The referee is supposed to be paid by the organizers. The organizer are the federation. The organizers of the matches are the Football Federation of Kenya.
Yes.
They're the ones who do the payments.
Yes.
The way it's done in CAF, the way it's done in FIFA. Unfortunately for us, we might end up blaming the federation, but unfortunately for us, I don't know, but I think the federation depends on sponsorship so that they are able to pay the referees. It's high time they find another way of getting money to handle this issue of refereeing, because it's a sensitive issue. You can't imagine. I'll tell you what Arocho was saying. I have colleagues who are paying who are in the National Super League, NSL. 7 matches not paid.
Being paid.
So the compromising will likely to come up. It's likely to. We are human beings.
Yes.
So that's why I think it is now Hussein and his team needs to think beyond the box, try to get a funding or find a sponsor or somebody to come in, because if we depend on the finances that come from FIFA, might not be enough. Now that we are told there is a debt of 400 million plus.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is high time that this is done. Sanctions are done 24 hours, payments are done promptly. Then we'll be able to reduce, not eliminate, reduce, because it's not a work for one season.
Yes.
It's something that needs to be done consistently. Yes.
Umesema timu kama Mathare, at least mafans wao wameongeleshwa kuhusu the laws of the game. They tend to understand the decisions being made. You know, ukiona wampigwa offside hawateti. Already imetoka wanajua, like wameongeleshwa. How do these teams zenye zinacheza kama NSL, then how do they reach out to their fans and start explaining the laws of the game?
Yeah, actually si ngumu. Ni unajua community work kama team, like let's say kama sisi Kibra tunaweza sema each and every Friday after session yetu tutakuwa tunafanya usafi, kwa mfano kama pale Makina Market.
Yes.
So Makina Market tutakuwa tunafanya usafi for like 30 minutes. Nao tunaalika mashabiki wetu. Akishatokea tutafanya usafi and then tuko na mkutano, tuongee, tuambie wewe jamaa, in case tukiwa na game kifanya kitu kama hii, hiyo inakuja ina affect team. Hata tunaweza nyang'anywa points. So lazima mbie vivi na vile. Also pia itachangia pia wale mashabiki support kwemo. Juu hata ukiwaambia tukikuja tukiwa na game kila kibanda itoe kama shilingi 50 ama so, and then pia mnawaelimisha. Na also macoach, shata macoach pia waelimisha wachezaji. Referees decision ni final.
Yes.
Hata mpige ngumi, hiyo imeisha hivyo. Ashaamua. Pia Rocha amesema unajua inaonyesha picha mbaya kuona askari anapigwa ngumi. Then mbona uko hapo? Wewe kama askari umekuja kufanya nini? So pia maaskari nao wanalipwa. Na kama sisi hapa division 1, division 2 kurudi huko chini, by the si tunapay marefari. So pale kwa uwanja referee hapo sidhani kama wanapokea pesa kutoka kwa federation. Na through hiyo kumpatia pesa pale kwa uwanja, I think pia inamchange akili yake. Tuseme kama kwa mfano kila timu inatoa 1500.
Yes.
So mimi nikikuja badala kuja na 1500 nikimfinya dhao mbili. Lazima nimecheza na akili yake.
Yes.
Na yeye kama binadamu atafanya hivyo.
Ni kweli.
Yeah.
Arocho, this now boils down to the state of the game in this country. The federation walituambia wako na deni ya almost 400 million, you know. Unasikia marefari wanalipwa na teams, hiyo sijawahi understand. Security inalipwa na teams, I believe hiyo inafaa kwa responsibility ya federation. What way forward? Hii story tunasikia ghost workers. Juzi kulitoka story watu wenye uweka bana kwa kiwanja ulipwa 200k per week.
No, that was wrong. No, that was not happening. And in fact, I felt so bad when very senior people in this country wali propel that thing. It was not
like,
there.
Sinasema rumors zenye zilitoka.
Yes, it was wrong. And you know, Shatta, me and you,
Yes.
we should be responsible journalists.
Yes.
In the sense that before when a kitu out, you need to investigate. True. But let's come back to history later. I think first and foremost, the federation must attract money. That is the bottom line.
Yes.
Hii mambo yote, you have to get sponsors, get into the game. That's the only way Ndinya and his colleagues are going to be paid on time.
Yes.
Because where do you expect the federation to get money? What is the federation? Let's ask ourselves.
Yes.
Federation is this football stakeholders sit down and elect one among themselves to lead them.
Yes.
So huyu mtu ana do, you need to pump in money.
Yes.
Now the problem we had with the previous federation was the little that was coming in was being munched elsewhere. You understand?
Yes.
The moment we lost our OB van, the moment we lost the COVID money. So the money, the little that was coming in was even not trickling down. You understand?
Yes.
We had sponsors kwa hizi tournament kama community shield yetu ya hapa. We had a sponsor. I don't just want to mention the sponsor here.
Yes.
But the sponsor used to pay for the referees. Anapewa budget, anaambiwa games itakuwa 27, each match costs this much. He pays, but hii pesa ifiki referee. So these are the things that we need to start making sure that happens. Because though ikiingia and you don't account for it, nobody will be giving you his money for free.
True.
Na utakuwa una meza tu. And you don't expect people to ask you questions. And last but not least, we have to be disciplined. Umeenda study. Mimi timu yangu ukosewa. There's a match tumeenda game ya Shabana na I think it was City Stars a season ago pale Machakos. We lost a match. You know, you control your fans.
Yes.
Kuna one of our fans wa Shabana alikwenda kumisbehave. It's us Shabana fans who went to him na tukamwambia utatuharibia. You understand? We'd rather lose here than losing our credibility and our dignity as a team. So it's our duty sisi kama fans. Kama tunaona moja wetu anakuwa unruly, it's us to bring them down or even hand them to the police. And police, please nisikizeni. When you go to the stadium, you have the arresting authority. Why don't you arrest? Mtu anapiga mpaka polisi alafu tunamwangalia tu. I'm so ashamed na that officer.
Now that you brought that issue for Migori, that fan, because he was not identified in the referee's match form.
Yes.
That guy was left he went to the police cell in the eve of that match day.
Yes.
He was released. That's what we have the information.
No, he was released because, and here I blame the officer.
Yes.
The officer forgive.
Which is wrong.
There's a written...
I've seen the letter.
There's a written whatever consent here, that lady, saying that I'm forgive. But all said and done.
But still, I don't think...
The guy assaulted a police officer.
Yes, but also, as you give your closing remarks, I don't think it is upon her to forgive him. Because one, it is a criminal offense.
It is.
If you attack
an officer.
Who is in uniform.
Yes. Yeah.
You know? And that now becomes an issue between you and the NPS.
And the government.
It's not you and the person you attacked.
It's true.
It is you and the National Police Service.
Yes.
Who, in this case, is the government of Kenya.
That's true.
Anyway, as we wind up, because now we are running out of time, please give me your closing remarks as a referee, as a football stakeholder. What do you want to see done by this new regime to better football?
I want to take this opportunity to address Hussein.
Yes.
He has been with us in this reign. He has been in Kenyan football for some time. He understands the challenges that we have. He can be able to manage it and do it better. He did it in extreme. He managed matches in extreme very well. Now he has the mandate. He has the goodwill of the people of Kenya. Let him take the lead. Let us make a big change from, as they say, it's a fresh start. Therefore, fresh start means change, overhaul, do everything that is possible to make the game back to the way it was before. I think it's a high time that Hussein takes the mandate and bold enough, make hard decisions to make the game better.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much. Kochare,
Yeah.
what do you want to see done to change ball ya Kenya? Especially the lower leagues zenye mnacheza.
Kwanza first ningependa Hussein na Federation. Hiyo sheria inasema eti kwa Premier League mtu akienda relegation anapewa second chance ya kucheza playoff. I think waitoe. Kama ni timu 3 tu kwenda relegation ziende, then 3 zipande. Also mimi nilisikia vibaya sana kusikia eti hiyo do imepotea. Hiyo umesema ni ngapi?
The
400 million. Wakati mle bado hajalipwa. Wale wasichana, unajua wale already ni ma legend. Wale walitupeleka World Cup. Bado hawajapewa kitu. So I think federation tu ifanye kitu. Na itilie maanani club licensing.
Amazing. Rocho, red card.
Red card yangu goes to the police officers who go to the stadium to watch chaos.
Yes.
Surely a police officer dressed officially, when you're in the stadium, you have the authority to arrest. You are trained to arrest. Arrest, let's prosecute these hooligans. The day we'll prosecute a hooligan, na tumfuate mpaka wherever ataenda, hata kama ni committee, we cover that this guy is serving for creating chaos in the stadium. That is the beginning of us stopping this hooliganism. But officers goes to the stadium, they cannot arrest. Kazi yao tu ni kubembeleza fans. We are still going to be fighting. We see elsewhere people being arrested and charged in a court of law. So my red card goes to the police officers who go to the stadium. If there are chaos, find the culprit, arrest and charge.
Amazing. As Arocho has said, that also brings me to my punch. Should be short today. If there's confusion somewhere, please don't be part of the confusion. Na nyinyi kama polisi, don't be part of the confusion ya hooliganism. It is very simple that that officer, for example, your incident ya Migori, was supposed to become a state witness. Sio yeye ana charge because in a criminal case, it is the government that is the complainant, and the person that is bereaved becomes a witness of the state. You know, so mkituambia sijui huyu ali withdraw case, it makes sense. Please don't be part of the confusion. Help us in solving hooliganism in the Kenyan game. And as the panelists have said, let's also educate our people in the importance of having a good game so that we can attract money as a federation. And also borrow a leaf from what we saw at the Super Bowl yesterday, where it was a fanfare, you know. Yes, there's a rivalry between the Eagles and the Chiefs, but it was fanfare. A sitting president was there, and it was colorful. Let us borrow that and bring that to the Kenyan game. Thank you very much, Fred Ndinya, former referee, Gentrix Mercy, Kibra, big up on yourself. I hope to see you mkipanda kwa ligi. Former international, big up on yourself, Fred Arocho, aka Twiga. And for those that didn't watch Arocho's story, you can go to my YouTube, angalia hapo story, it was Beyond the Game, amazing sana. Nimekuletea noma? Nini?
My wife is complaining that nilisema you know you feel like